Wangwood is being recognized as one of the last artists.
Dahil lahat po tayo ay pwedeng maging isang bayani sa ating sariling paraan.
Beautiful ako sa kung ano ako, sa kung ano yung meron ako.
We were able to give about 1,000 bicycles to 10 cities in Metro Manila.
The Iron Lady of Asia. Ganito nakilala si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago noong nabubuhay pa siya.
The winner of Asia's Next Top Model is Maureen.
Which actually scored. Amazing, she left the best for last.
Philippines, the wait is over! The gold is yours!
Hello, Shiros! This is our podcast that features strong women and engages in conversations to empower you. Join me as we hear from Shiros from all over the world share their journey in becoming the women they are today. We hope their stories can help inspire you find your inner Shiro. This is Pauline Lopez and welcome to Shero Talk.
The Philippines has grown to love MJ Lastimosa, more commonly known as MJ, through her numerous Kumu live episodes, her hosting in Itbulaga, and as one of the Filipinas who put us on the global map when she was crowned a semi-finalist in the Miss Universe 2014. This Filipino-Arabian talent, engineer, and beauty title pageant holder was born and raised in the town of Tulunan in the province of North Cotabato.
MJ Lastimosa, North Cotabato, Philippines!
MJ all the way.
MJ continues to become one of the most recognized queens of the country, perhaps due to her down-to-earth presence, graceful exuberance, and wit. Join me as we find out through MJ herself on what makes a queen a Shiro.
Mabuhay! My name is MJ Lastimosa. I'm from North Cotabato, Philippines, and I'm Miss Universe Philippines.
Hello, MJ! Thank you so much for being here on Shero Talk!
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my gosh,
So
guys.
excited. No, because when you told me that you have this show and it's called Shiro, it sounds so promising. And I'm just glad to be here and to be able to share my story and consider myself as Shiro.
But you are, I definitely look up to you. She is one of the beauties, not just beauty, but beauty, brains, and bronze. I definitely look up to her, so let us get to know her as a Shiro. My first question is, you were crowned Miss Universe 2014.
Our Miss Universe Philippines 25, Mary Jane Lastimosa. Congratulations!
And since then, you remain one of the most well-known beauty queens.
Well, no.
I mean, yes, but I just wanted to ask, how did you manage to stay relevant, stay on top of the game?
First of all, I don't want to claim the term well-known. I must say that every Miss Philippines that was given the chance and honor to represent the country abroad are widely known in the Philippines. Because, first of all, Philippines is such a big fan of pageantry.
Yes.
And just imagine every time there's this big international competition abroad, everyone's just so excited. It's like watching the biggest basketball match
Or even
like
Manny
a boxing.
Pacquiao.
Yes, it's a boxing match, and then there is a pageant match. You know what I mean? Like,
Welcome to the top 5!
there's pageant competition, so everyone's on their TV and cheering for our country's representative, and that's when I really believe that every time you get to represent the country, automatically people recognizes you.
I don't even know how to describe my fans, but they're my source of strength right now. I cannot compare the Filipino fans to any other fans. I claim it. They're the best fans that Miss Universe could ever have.
I know, that's so amazing. I mean, even abroad, all the Filipinos living there,
Yes.
they would definitely come to watch, right?
Yes,
It's
actually.
such a big fan base,
Yes.
no?
Oh my goodness. So when I was competing nationally, I wasn't even in an international stage yet. I remember that there are some Filipinos who approached me after the pageant and then told me that, oh, we flew from Australia.
Oh my gosh, really?
They came from different parts of the world and they went here just to watch. And I was so clueless of how they picked me to support because, you know, like, I don't know anybody coming in Manila from the province, and I wasn't really expecting to see people from different countries cheering for you, and I was like,
it's very touching, no?
Yes, and it's the Filipino love for pageantry.
No, that's in the future, hopefully.
Of course you will.
So let's give him a little bit of Q&A. So 8 years ago, this question was asked during the Miss Universe pageant. Well, the question is, what is the greatest contribution of your country to the entire world? And if you are to answer this now in 2021, what will be your response?
At ang tinanghal na bagong binibining Pilipinas Universe, ang North Cotabato beauty na si Mary Jean Lastimosa, hinangaan din siya sa question and answer portion.
What is greatest advantage of being a woman?
The greatest advantage of being a woman is being able to compose ourselves. Just like here, we keep the emotions and show the beauty that is in us. And tonight, thousands of people are standing here celebrating the beauty of a woman, and that's an advantage of a woman.
You know, when that question was asked 8 years ago, in my head it will always be the Filipinos who are working abroad. They are our modern heroes. They've been working so hard, not just for their families, for their own dreams, but it's also boosting our economy. Now, I would say it's still the perseverance of the Filipinos. It's been so hard during this pandemic. It's been everyone, even the Filipinos who had it good.
Yeah.
Who's been living a good life. And even the Filipinos who's been struggling, now we're on the same equal footing.
Yeah.
No one's, you know, even though that all of these things are happening during this pandemic, you can still see how a Filipino can persevere in the middle of any given situation.
When I competed in Miss Universe representing the Philippines, isa sa mga struggle ko while I was abroad competing was the distance between me and my family. Kung mahirapan ako competing abroad, within a month time lang, napakabilis lang nun. How much more yung milyon-milyong Pilipinong nagtatrabaho abroad?
Yeah, it's the resiliency.
Yes.
And it's how they make way. Every time, even my parents, if they're living in the US,
right,
they find a way no matter what. So now that you're talking about perseverance, I know we talked before your run for Binibining 3 times in showbiz, yet you've yet to get your biggest break, but you never run out of exposure, exploring from acting to hosting. Why are you so driven?
Imagine waking up every morning and working hard for that dream. So there are days that I would wake up that I feel like I am tired, but there were never a day where I woke up and thought to myself that I wanted to give up. It's always going back to your core of why are you doing these things in the first place. So I always hold on to that dream and that passion and that love for the things that I actually do. I don't do things that I feel like I'd be half-hearted. If I know to myself that this thing would be not for me, then I wouldn't do that at all.
Wow. So on your toughest days though, when you just don't even want to get out of bed, you just stick to that goal. But how do you kind of transition and say, hey, I have to do this today? What's that essence of why you get up?
You know, sometimes some days can be really hard, and some days you just have questions like, why me? Why am I experiencing this? Yes, why am I experiencing this? And I had it bad, like some people just, you know, get an easy overnight success, and why do I have to struggle so much? Why do I have to join beauty pageant 3 times just to win that crown? Sometimes we can just have so many questions in our head. But I think it's also important to take a pause and then reassess yourself.
I wanted to be an inspiration to everyone that, you shouldn't give up on your dream. I never give up on my dream, and now it's a reality.
And you actually really have to know yourself as to, can I still go on? Is
Knowing
this the
yourself truly.
yes, and is this the path where I really wanted to take myself? When you take that pause and maybe talk to the people that you really trust, where you can open up and then ask for some advices, then I think you can get the proper guidance of what's the next step for you.
It's very determined. Yung discipline, talagang pag sinabi niyang gagawin ko to, gagawin ko to. Kinakabahan siya, sinasabi ko sa kanya na i-remind niya yung sarili niya lagi na ito talaga yung gusto niya.
So surrounding yourself with the right people also is part of it. And now you're talking about the advice that you get from other people and even being in the run and beauty pageants. But one of my questions that I've actually thought of is, how do you make people listen to women who doesn't have a crown or who doesn't have a title? Is there a chance for normal girls to be valid?
I always believe that your own story, you have your own bragging rights to that, right?
Exactly.
So, especially nowadays that we have social media, I really feel like everyone has an equal platform of sharing our own story, of letting other people know of what we've been through, of our successes, because we have our own definition of success. My little success may be big success for you, or your big success might be little to nothing for me, but it's still a success. It will inspire one girl, or who knows, you inspire more people from the province or from back home where they know you, and that's still some kind of inspiration that you're giving out there, right? So I really believe that you don't have to be somebody. You don't need so many followers just to inspire some people.
No, I definitely, that's something that I kind of grew up with. For me, in sports, if I can inspire one girl, if I can inspire one person, I think it means the world to me.
Yes.
And it could mean the world to others.
If you can inspire one girl or two or three, then you're making a change.
Exactly. So now we're going to talk about this concept of beauty. Through the years, the concept of Filipino beauty evolved and changed over time. But for you, what is the distinct trait that shines across the world?
I think a Filipina's smile. Whenever I see a Filipina competing on stage and wearing that Philippines sash, it's just a different glow. It's just a glow of pride. It's just a glow of confidence. It's just a glow of all the strength that she's getting from back home, from her family, her friends, and the whole country that are cheering for her.
Ang ginagawa ko na lang pag nakaharap ako sa salamin, ang ganda ko.
Oh, ganun pala dapat lagi.
So, I can confidently say that a Filipina smile, wherever she is, may it be a restaurant abroad, may it be a dress store, a shoe store abroad, you can definitely pinpoint that that woman is a Filipina by just like how she greeted you with that warmest smile.
Yeah.
So
the hospitable smile. You can just spot it. No?
It's just so different.
Well, you guys smile at me. So speaking of pageants kanina, the Filipinos are so passionate pageant fans, but there are still who think that pageants are not really a thing, or it's just a fad, right? So how do you convince a non-believer that contests like this matter?
I actually have to go through that. I had to witness it myself to believe that pageant actually matters. When growing up back in the province, where surviving is what we are just working for, to just have food on the table and to just finish your studies because that's what's gonna help you when you're grown and out of your parents' houses. I had to really see it for myself to believe that there's actually a place for pageantry in my life. And when I actually won a pageant back home in Davao, that's when I was able to serve to serve my purpose. I was able to really get to know myself and to really recognize what I wanted to do. My purpose, not only because I wanted to be successful in life with my career, but also because I have to be a part of the society.
Yeah.
I have to do something to help other people.
To give back.
So that's when I actually realized that pageantry is not just, seeing beautiful faces and appreciating the beauty of women, but it's also hearing their voices. It's also giving them the power to make a difference. It's also really pushing these women to actually be able to use their own voices and to use their own power to make a difference.
Yeah, so it's a platform to give back,
Really?
right?
Yes. So much.
Well, we were talking before, and I didn't know this, but you've been independently living on your own, right? And you're far away from your family, so how do you manage to keep that long distance relationship with your family? Because I can relate as well, but you said you've done this ever since you were a kid.
Right.
So how did you manage everything?
Actually, I grew up away from my parents. So my guardians was the one who really, took care of me growing up and instilled all these values that I owe to them. The challenge for me was keeping the ties because they're so far from me and really holding onto that family ties, even if we've been spending so many years away from each other. But just knowing that family will always be family, no matter what, no matter how many days we're not able to talk to because I got so busy with work, or like you just forgot one special occasion of one family. But whenever we get a chance to reunite or see each other, it's just always, it feels like we didn't really miss a thing. Yeah.
Actually, mas naging close pa kami lalo etong quarantine kasi nga mas marami na kaming time to
together.
Oo, together.
We didn't really
Kasi
miss.
dati there's no FaceTime.
Right.
Diba?
Well, we work on what we have. If we have to send letters before, then we do that. If we have to send text messages via what's that, beeper, then we do that. Yeah, I think that's just us being human, right?
Yeah. It's part of it. So this is a section I feel like many of us are going to enjoy. It's going to be the fun part. With hundreds of interviews I read online and actually saw, nothing much about your love life has been mentioned. Is this intentional? Did you really want to keep it out of the public's eye?
No, I feel like Philippines is such a love team fan.
Yes.
We love to hear love stories. And with that being said, I've seen so many love stories that I feel like that's enough.
That's too much.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they need to hear my story. So I already enjoyed what I am seeing, around me and hearing love stories from all the known personalities. But personally, I feel like there is more that I can offer than just talking about that part of my life. Because I feel like whenever we talk about someone's love life, it tends to stay on that part of your life. Like the interest of the people, they just wanted to know who you're dating, when you broke up, or like when you're gonna delete those pictures, or like so yeah. So I felt like, why not just offer something else? Because us women, we have so much to offer than just who are we dating, right?
Exactly.
So that's just my personal preference. That's just what I thought is good for my image. So I just wanted the people who knows me to focus on other things that matters for me than just,
Guys,
the boy stuff.
It's gonna be hard to transition to this next question. Oh my gosh. But I just want to get your input. Just for our listeners today, sometimes it's expected when you're a queen, there needs to be a king. Oh gosh. But does a queen need a king? And does a perfect match really exist?
I do think
guys.
that actually it doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be a king or may it be another princess or a queen. Who knows, right? Who's the perfect partner for you? But I really believe that no man is an island. You really need someone to lean on. some days you're just too weak to stand on your own. So it's just so much better to have a partner where you can share the good and the bad days, the successes and the failures. And yes, I believe that a true match do exist, but you have to be patient for that.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, you can't just force it.
Well, speaking of, like before, when we were having a conversation, I was actually asking you, oh, should I do beauty pageants or should I do this? But looking at your social media, and I've also been following your career, you from beauty pageant to hosting, what advice can you give someone like me who wants to try something new?
Well, I can tell that you're not afraid of trying something new, because that's the first thing that I would tell someone, to not be afraid to try new things, because what is life without challenges, right? It will be just a stagnant, flow of life. Then there's no magic, there's no, how can you say that you've lived your life when you grow older? How can you look back to your past experiences, your journey, and say that I really did live my life if you didn't try the things that you wanted to try in the first place? So if you think that you can, and if you think that you wanted to try something because this is for your growth, or this is for another venture of your career, or this will actually develop you into the woman that you wanted to be, then by all means, go for it. There's nothing to lose.
Go for it, guys. Be a Shiro
Be
from
a
MJ.
Shiro.
And for my last question, what for you is the essence of being a Shiro?
The essence of being a Shiro for me is finding that little hope deep inside you. Because that hope is that only thing that you needed to hold on to when you feel like the day is not going good for you. That hope is that one thing that you're going to hold on to when you feel like everything's crashing. That hope is the one that you're going to use to inspire people, hoping that everything that you do will touch other people. And that hope is that one thing that you're going to use to expect that, maybe some days will be better for you and the future will be good for you.
And there you have it, you guys. MJ Lastimosa, the Shiro that she is. Thank you for gracing our set today.
Thank you for having
and
me.
I hope to catch you again soon.
Of course.
Sana maging coach.
Yes.
Can you be my coach, guys? She'll be my coach, hopefully.
Long training ahead.
Bye, you guys. See you soon on Shero Talk. To all my fellow Shiros, let's make a difference and reshape the world together. Follow me in our future episodes and discover our power from within. This is Pauline Lopez, and see you soon on Shero Talk.